Alright, we're going to continue our discussion about standard deviation. So after section 3.3 in your course packet, you'll come across a couple pages of histograms. We're going to start out with one of the easier examples, but for each example, you need to pick which one has the largest standard deviation, or maybe perhaps they have the same standard deviation. So I'm going to go to a fairly obvious one, I think. Number 7. So let's go to number 7. And remember from our last lesson that the standard deviation represents the average distance of the observations from the mean. And that's what we want to think about when we decide which one has the larger standard deviation. And so here, both of these histograms have a mean of 2. And so the mean is going to be around here and around here. Oops. And for this histogram right here, we can see most of the observations are close to the mean. And then out here, there's only a few observations, or one observation that is far from the mean. And that's the idea of what we're going to do to decide which one has the smallest standard deviation. And so when we come out here, we see that there's a lot of observations on the tails here because these bars are so high. So these observations are far away from the mean. Oops. And so when we talk about the average distance to the mean, because these are observations that are far from the mean, and where the peak is here, it's closer to the mean, then A is going to have a smaller standard deviation, B is going to have a larger. And so the correct answer is B has a larger standard deviation. So if you scroll down to the last page of this, you'll see the answers for each one. And so B did have a larger standard deviation than A for number 7. We'll just do one more and then you can finish this activity up on your own. 10's a pretty easy one as well, so we'll do that one. And so the mean for both histogram A and histogram B are about the same, but the range for histogram B is much larger, and histogram A, the observations are much closer to the mean. So it's the same idea. We're looking for the distance from observations to the mean. The mean is about 6. And those distances are going to be quite a bit bigger on average for histogram B. And so histogram B is going to have the larger standard deviation. Okay, so I'll find one more to wrap this up. Okay, so let's do number 5. And again, we want to apply the same idea. The mean is about right here. And we can see for histogram B that all the observations actually lie pretty far away from the mean. And there's no observations that are close to the mean at all for histogram B. For histogram A, here's the mean, and you have some observations that are far away, but you also have some observations that are pretty close to the mean. Okay, so for number 5, it's going to be the same answer. B is going to have the larger standard deviation. All right, so that's how you would determine which one has the largest standard deviation. So you should go ahead and finish up the activity on your own, and you can check your answers on the very last page of that.